It's hot.
So I was watching Savit on stream the other day, and he was playing against rank 1 legend player who was playing a beast control deck, and I went back in the VOD, picked up all the cards that I could find, put them in a deck, and then kind of built around that. And this is what we got, beast control. We were basically focusing on a lot of beast synergies. So we got cards like Selective Breeder, Warsong Wrangler, and we're running Tundra or Trampling Rhinos and KRUSH. Those are going to be awesome. Dealing a ton of damage. We're going to be able to make copies of them. And then we're playing Beastmaster Lyrox to summon them out. It's going to be, I mean, honestly, it's just crazy combos. And I'm kind of surprised that it's 2021 and KRUSH is actually being used. It's pretty cool. But we're playing a bunch of like anti-mage cards. Ogremancer. We're also playing the Watch Post stuff, as well as Kargal. And that is basically the deck. You know, we're throwing in some quick shots, like just all around general good hunter cards, and trying to essentially kind of control the board and do a little bit of damage with your hero power and everything, and then get to end game and, you know, just pop off a KRUSH or something for lethal. So that's the deck. Please do try it out. Of course, the deck code will be down in the description. Like and subscribe if you do enjoy the video. It really helps out the channel, and I do appreciate it. Let's get into a couple games. So the recording for this video did get messed up, and no audio got recorded, but this game was just, it was a good game, so I wanted to show it off anyway. So I'm just going to be commentating over this. So let me know if you like the commentating style of video. More or less, but here we go. Let's get into the game. We're keeping that Selective Breeder, and as you see, we are up against Mage here, and usually when I'm against Mage, I'm going to always assume it's deck of Lunacy, just because that seems to be, well, let's just be honest, it's the most popular deck right now. And no play on turn 1. Of course, our deck is only playing Tracking and True Aim Crescent for turn 1, so probably going to look at that far Watch Post on turn 2, just because if we can slow down Mage a little bit, that's going to be helpful. And Selective Breeder, you know, we can go ahead and get a Beast, but we're not even going to be playing that Beast for a while, and a 1/1 is not putting on a ton of pressure. So I think I'd rather probably stall out the game with the Watch Post. Now we do see the Imprisoned Phoenix from our opponent, and there I go, just jam the Watch Post pretty quickly. Phoenix seems to be a pretty popular pick, and I think it's usually because it combos with Cram Session pretty well. You're going to get some extra draws, so I'm pretty much preparing for that to come up in the future. Now, next couple turns here, we want to be using our hero power because we do want to deal damage and try to whittle down our opponents. And we do see a Font of Power from them, which, you know, depending on what they get, they can try to, you know, stick with the board pretty well with us. And I consider playing the Morshun Watch Post here, as they did play the Font of Power, so it could be decent. It could definitely be decent here. But also, it's important to start trying to deal damage, so I just choose the hero power here, as I just think at the most they're going to play 1 minion. So it's probably not going to get a ton of value off the Watch Post. So I decided just to hold it and keep it, as it can still buff our Kargal later in the game if we play it. But they do actually have a pretty nice minion here, so it actually would have been good to play the Watch Post out. So a little bit unfortunate there. Maybe I should have just played it in the first place. But we have a pretty nice Warsong Wrangler here. And what we take a look at here is going to be actually the 2 minions that we have, the Trampling Rhino and the KRUSH. And I actually choose to go with KRUSH here because I already have the Lyrox in my hand. And I figure, hey, I can go ahead and get a buffed KRUSH. In hindsight, I think it might have been better to take the Rhino because I could use the Selective Breeder and just get another copy of KRUSH, and maybe we can get multiple KRUSHs in our hand. But I go for the buffed one anyway. And we do have a nice 3/4 on the board. I'm really glad that Warsong Wrangler is a 3/4 body, which is pretty good at trading. Definitely good at trading on board. If it was something weak like the Selective Breeder as a 1/1, obviously not too good. But Deck of Lunacy here. It is turn 4, so not nearly as strong as it would be otherwise, because as you can see, we already have a decent board here. They went ahead and traded into the watch post. They were pretty worried about that, and it was slowing them down. It's going to make their lunacy just even worse. So rolling around the turn 5, I mean, trampling Rhino is pretty good here. I mean, we're going to go ahead and deal 4 to face, trade up the board. We're on board, get him to 24, and we're looking pretty good here. We're in a great spot, and probably some kind of removal. See a Pexus Blast, and just hoping they don't high roll something with Rush or Taunt here, and they do not. 4/4, pretty common stats for a Pexus Blast. Ogremancer is definitely a decent call here, because it does slow them down even more. But we do have that piercing shot. We can get rid of the Vectus. We can also play the Selective Breeder and push some damage to face. Watch Post is still an option, although it would have been better earlier, and I kind of waited a long time to play that Watch Post out. So go ahead and Selective Breeder here. Of course, Rhino is the only minion left that we can choose. And then this is going to be a pretty easy piercing shot. Deal 2 to face, and then 3 from our minion. And we got him under 20 on turn 6. And we have a full hand. They also have a full hand. At this point, we're kind of waiting to see if they're going to draw any, Nagrin Slams or anything crazy like that from the deck of Lunacy. Those cards obviously could swing the game pretty quick. But technically they should have to wait one more turn because they're only on 6 mana right here. And we're nearing our Lyrox here. One more turn we're going to be able to play that. And that King Crush has 10 attack, so that's quite a bit. Second, a Pexus Blast, which is not my favorite thing. And they actually get Mozaki here, which is very frustrating because Mozaki is a card you have to kill. But we top deck True Aim Crescent, which is an absolutely monstrous pull here. And I think at first I didn't even realize exactly how good it was. But that card's actually insane with the Rhinos. It combos so well. You're just getting to essentially kill minions multiple times, and the Rhino just keeps doing damage to face. It's so good, and I don't think anybody even last format understood how good this was. But as you can see here, I actually chose not to play the Rhino, and I went with the 4/4, which. The reasoning I did that is because I want to play the Rhino from the Lyrox. We could have done a little more damage that turn, but I want as much off the Lyrox as possible. And likely they play a minion here. I was thinking they probably would, just because they have so many minions in hand from double Fawn of Power. So Cascading comes out, clears up our board, and we're close to lethal here actually. King Crush does 10. And we have 1 from our weapon. So a Reckless Apprentice here, and they actually have the buff 8/8, which puts us in a weird position until I realize something. Now we are going to have to face tank here, and this is the problem. If our opponent had Mask of Cthulhu or something, it's possible we'd just be dead next turn. Or double Fireball, we would have been dead. So it's kind of risky, but it's better to get rid of that thing because they could buff it even more next turn very easily. So we go with the Lyrox. Here we go. Big King Crush coming down in 2021. And we're going face with that bad boy. Now, can't go face, obviously, with the Rhino. We could have actually won on this turn, I believe. We would have actually won. It would have been exactly 3 damage if our King Crush attacked and then our Rhino attacked afterwards. But that did not happen. I do believe True Aim Crescent is random, the attacking order. I could be wrong. Maybe it is left to right, but I thought it was random. But we got him to 3. We do have lethal showing, right? We have our True Aim Crescent plus hero power. So we do have lethal showing. Of course, we have some lethal draws as well. Quick Shot would be lethal, and possibly Piercing Shot if they played a minion. But they play Dawn Grasp here, gonna freeze us out, and Also ring toss, and this is kind of funny here. This lethal here. Can you spot lethal? Now, of course they have ice barrier, right? So they're going to gain 8. Can you spot lethal right now? We can't attack their face. They'll gain 8 life. Let me know in the comments right now if you guys spotted this lethal, because I'll be honest, I did not spot it, and it's probably going to be a couple like minutes even into my turn until I actually go for it, because I just didn't see it. And this is why I think True Aim Crescent is so good, because how it combos with this Rhino. All right, do you see it? Because this Rhino, doesn't matter that it's frozen. It can still attack with True Aim Crescent. All I got to do is attack that minion, and that Rhino will deal that final 3 damage. And here we go. We found the lethal. Hit and attack. Boom. 3 damage to face for lethal against the Lunacy Mage.